Do you feel that with going through this process, you've gotten closer to kind of what you want out of music, or how you hear music? Because I wrote something down, trying to catch up with my imagination. So are you closer to that?
Well, I mean, I hope I never catch up to my imagination. You know, I want to keep the chemtrails of imagination in the distance and wonder where the hell they come from and where they're going. You know, but you know, I always just want to get better and be better and play better and write cooler songs. You know, and I'm just trying to. I've always had it in my mind for a while to kind of make music sort of like this. I'm sure it'll get different, but. But yeah, the music of Chicago. Sorry, I burped in the mic. Hold on, I'm gonna burp again. Keep this in here. Don't cut it out. Wait, hold on. That's not a burp. Okay. Anyways, I think the music of Chicago is a big influence, especially the scene of sort of improvising, because you can have like sort of metal music or indie rock or hip hop or singer-songwriter, jazz, whatever. At the center of it, it's kind of based around the scene of improvising, and all those people and all those sorts of scenes can come together in this sort of Venn diagram of improvising, you know, and you know, so what's cool about Chicago, and I mean, it exists in other cities, I guess, but I've never really seen it like as hardcore like in Chicago. You know, you can hit up a friend who's in like a metal band and be like, "Yo, let's do a weird set at a cafe, you know, for 5 people and no money," and like they'll show up, and it's kind of like, let's see what the fuck happens, you know. And if you bomb on it, you know, you can learn from that too. If it sucks, you learn a lot from that, you know. You learn about your strengths and weaknesses as a musician through that way, I think. And rather than playing all my indie rock sort of song shit, I think that music is something that I hold really like even closer. You know, that's something that I always want to get better at, is learning how to listen to other musicians and how to riff like in the moment and improvise and that sort of stuff. That's so much more exciting to me than kind of the songwriting stuff I do.
Okay.
But that always feeds into the songs. You know, I think when I write a singy song or whatever, it's always informed by from playing music like that. You know, that's really the most influential things, that sort of scene in Chicago to me.
One thing that struck me, for instance, with the final song of the album, "A Spell with the Rest," where did that music start? Where did that
Oh,
idea
wow.
kind of?
Man, I don't remember. That's probably one of the first songs written for the record. Okay. That's kind of like one of the more songy songs, you know, as far as like 1, 2, 3, 4, verse, chorus, sort of thing. That was one of the first ones I wrote. Like, man, probably at the end of 2016.
Okay.
And that went through a lot of iterations. It was really slow at first. And that was kind of, I guess, listening to a lot of like the Sea and Cake and stuff, bands like that. I really like their sort of riffs. And they got way less than that. It was like at first like very like jazzy, poppy, you know, like dun, 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 like I wanted to be like super, you know, Caetano Veloso sort of sound. But it just kind of ended up being more kind of dirty and rock and rollish, I think, in the final mix, in the final performances of it, take 1,000, whatever. And I had those words in my head for a long time, like, I woke up with, what is it? I woke up with intuition, I declare my own constitution. I thought that was really funny, you know, like, I think it's just like a lot of self-loathing. That's always been kind of something, you know, like sort of hyper-aware that it's a song and hyper-aware of how stupid it is to have a song. You know, I never want to come off as just somebody with a grand vision and here's my song, you know, let's all unite. It's like just kind of, I don't know, I'm just focused on like how much of an asshole I feel like when I write songs, you know, it's so crazy to me, you know.
But in that sense, why do you keep doing it?
I don't know, man, I guess I'm insane. I don't know. It's the only thing I can write, man. I mean, I think it's better than the writing about stupid fucking mountains and shit like I used to, you know, like a bunch of, you know, imagery and allegory and like, oh, fucking mountain tree. Trees and mountains and boyfriends and plaid sweaters, you know, like, oh, fuck, I can't do that no more.
Right.
So I guess just, you know, my immediate surroundings are just kind of the most fun and interesting things for me to sing about. And I don't know, I guess a lot of people maybe can relate to that, you know, just like fucking self-loathing, feeling like an asshole. I don't know.
Because, well, I wrote a couple of lines down here and there. One of them I wrote down from Cant Ask Why is, it's not fun being a fun person.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that line. Yeah.
I like that line as well.
Forgot.
So where did that line come from, or where did it?
I actually, the original lyrics to that were a little, even like more self-loathing. It was like, I said like "fuck me with an arrow" or something like that. Like really gross, you know, like not nice imagery. And I was like, well, my mom's gonna listen to this, you know. I don't know. I think I just kind of got way too fucked up the last couple of years and haven't really felt good about it, or I haven't really gained anything from the amount of like drugs I put in my body or the amount of booze I drink, you know. It's kind of just made me flabby and depressed, and like, you know, I feel happier now that I've kind of slowed down, and you know, it's not very fun like just getting yourself fucked up all the time, you know. It's not very fun being a fun person, and it's just funny. And
but was it in this album process that you came to that conclusion where you thought, okay, maybe I should cut down a little bit?
oh man, no, well yeah, I guess I don't know. It's not like some tragic story, you know. It's just, you know, I didn't have to spend 9 weeks in rehab or anything. Like, I don't even have fucking health insurance, so I better go cold turkey on all that shit.
Oh well.
But yeah, I think, you know, last year has been kind of a big year of being a downer for me personally, you know. I guess the world is collectively losing their minds right now, but in my stratosphere, I've just been kind of in my head a lot and at home a lot, not working a lot, kind of broke all the time. So yeah, I think it was just kind of everything was a fucking Greek tragedy in my mind, you know. So I had a lot of hard times trying to get better, and so yeah, you know. That answer your question?
Well, yeah, kind of, because it's well, what I wanted to ask is because I want to know if you experience kind of writing music, creating music differently, if you're in that kind of mindset of drinking a lot and doing drugs.
Oh no, it's kind of worse. I work better with a clear mind, I think, you know. I don't really have, I'm not really inspired to do anything when I'm fucked up, you know. I just want to like keep getting fucked up, you know. So no, definitely not.
Okay.
So I bought some running shoes last year, and I do that every now and then, and that helps me a lot. I'm in a much more creative mindset then.
Right. And then part of kind of the well, what you mentioned, not being overtly happy with what you've made now. Then how do you look towards the next step, playing them live or even writing new material? Is that a continual search for something that you for the perfect song in a way?
I mean, I don't think I'll ever make a perfect song in my mind, but I'm really excited about music again. I think the last couple years I was like really down about, even though I toured a shitload and had a great time, I think I was just like not very excited about music because I just wasn't excited in general, you know. It wasn't the people around me or anything, it was just me personally just kind of being like, kind of cross-eyed looking at the world, you know, and just kind of down and out. But I feel like this record coming out and even talking about it on a camera in the Netherlands right now is just like bizarre to me that it worked. Something worked, you know, and I feel better as a songwriter, and I'm really looking forward to writing new stuff and hopefully recording again sometime soon. Pretty busy with gigs. Haven't played a lot of these songs live, so when I go back home, I'm gonna work on rehearsing those with the band and getting like a good live gig down. Live gigs are always really important to me. I hate when people put on shitty shows, and I don't want to put on a shitty show. I want to have like a really good gig, and I enjoy live music so much. It would be a fucking bummer for these songs to not work, but I can't play them solo. They don't work as solo songs. I don't want to play them solo. They're for an ensemble fucking band. And I never want to, you know, take a moment of it for granted. I feel really lucky, and I'm super stoked on the new songs live. I like the record, you know. I'm happy. I finally come around to something I can feel kind of alright about. So I'm looking forward to writing more like this in this style and seeing what happens.
You kind of alluded last question. Oh no, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna ask something.
It's all good. Sorry.
The album's title, Deafman Glance. Where did that come from?
I didn't make the title. It's a name of a play by Robert Wilson, who I really don't know his work. Color Me Ignorant. It's a really cool title. kind of a long story, but the condensed version is when I was a little kid, the MCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, my mom took my sister and I there, and again, I don't know shit about Robert Wilson. I honestly don't. I don't even know a lot about the fucking play. But I remember they were screening it, like a film of it. It's a really disturbing looking movie. You'd have to, you can Google it and look it up and see it. It's just kind of this disturbing thing where this woman like stabs a child. And I remember they were screening it in one of like the screening rooms in the museum, and like scared the shit out of me as a kid. It's not for kids. It's like, it's really scary. I remember like freaking out and like kind of like crying to my mom. You know, I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. I was like, that was really scary. I saw a scary movie. And I forgot the title of the movie, and for like, you know, 20 years I was like, what is the name of that movie that scared the shit out of me as a kid? And after like looking and looking and looking and looking and looking for like, seriously years, like what was the name of that fucking, I finally found it's called Deafman Glance. I was like, boom, that's a record title. Again, like it doesn't have any, I don't think I have any connection to the play. It's cool. I think Robert Wilson's great and I admire his work. But I think, I don't know, the title just kind of, I don't know, just kind of being like sort of tunnel vision to the world and sort of just like all senses sort of shut off kind of thing and just kind of being frozen in time and in your place and your environment. There's a lot of layers to it. It's kind of mysterious, and I really don't know. It just sounds kind of nice.
But it is quite interesting how that play or that viewing that you saw that stuck in your mind.
Yeah, for years it bothered me. It was like, what the fuck? It's like it scared me, you know. And I think I thought about that movie, and it's surprising. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's like the record title.
So have you watched it since? Have you watched
yeah,
it
I've watched it
recently?
since, and I mean, it's cool, it's great, you know, and I think there's a lot of like sort of themes in there, but I don't really have a lot of connection to the sort of like, I really don't know a lot about, there's like essays on it and stuff, but I don't like to read, so sorry, Robert Wilson, I jacked your title, dude, but it means a lot to me. Appreciate it, bro.
Right, Ryley, thanks again. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you all.